Welcome to the Garden, folks. The Buffaloes face off against the 1-2 Longhorns. This is going to be one of, if not the biggest game of the tournament. This place is packed. Starting lineup for Holcomb is Jackson Stoppel, Kobe Hands, Zion Mason, River Amos, and Damon Kelpley. For the tip-off here is Springston and River Amos. It's going to be Buffalo ball here, starting with Carlos Acosta. It's going to be Acosta, sets up at the top, trying to drive in, throws it back out to the outside. He's going to find Lamb here. Is he going to find Acosta, who takes it back up to the top, over to Lamb. He's going to drive in, almost pops it, decides not to. Lamb's going to whip it back up to Acosta as he sets up his offense. Motions over Williams. Finds Springston. Pops it and is going to toilet bowl around the basket. Hands is going to bring this ball up as he whips it over to Amos. Down to Mason, and Dirks recovers. Lamb tips it off of his shoe, and it's going to go that way over to the Longhorns. That's going to be frustrating on Lamb's part. Stoppel bringing this ball up with some ball handling. He drives it in, puts it up for two, doesn't get it, but he's fouled on the way up. This was on number 1, Jared Springston, his first foul of the evening. Pops his first one and gets it. That's the Longhorns are going to lead and put the first points on the scoreboard tonight. Stoppel setting up for a second, and he gets it. Williams going to hold on to this one. Acosta pops for three, doesn't get it. Amos recovers. Over down to Stoppel, back up to Kepley, up to Mason. Acosta on the left wing, gonna drive this in. Pops it back out to Lamb. Springston wide open, pops three, toilet pulls again. Over to Stoppel. Stoppel is a deadly ball handler. Over to a wide open Hands. Doesn't get it. Oh, but we're going to have a Mason recovery. And he puts that back up and get two. Over to Springston. Back out to Acosta, over to a wide open Lamb. Pump fakes. He's going to set back up here over to Williams. And he's going to drive it in, puts it up for two, but it's fouled on the way up. This was on number 5, Jackson Stoppel. It's his first of the evening. First team foul. Checking in is going to be number 2, Payne Ortner, and number 3, Trey Cox. Williams looking to put the first set of points on the, it's going to be an inbound instead. Down to Lamb. Back to Lamb as he's going to set up. Pops a three, is going to be short. Dirks recovers. Hands is going to bring this one up here. Over to Acosta, heavily defending. Stoppel is going to throw it right out to Cox. He's going to put up 3. It's going to be over. Sprinkston covers, and Acosta's going to drive it up. Pump fakes in and out, puts it up for 2 and gets it. Over to Stoppel, down to Cox. It's going to be a lob over to Kepley, and he's going to be fouled on the way up. Foul is on number 32, Jackson Dirks. Kepley looking to shoot 2 here. Gets his first one. Stoppel comes out, as well as Hands here. Mason comes in. He gets his second one. Also 14 Mason, so we have 2 Masons in. Possible brothers. Acosta over to Lamb as Lamb sets up. It's going to be tipped off. It's going to stay here. It's tipped off a Longhorn. It's going to be a Lamb inbounding on this one. It's going to find Acosta. There's a holding call here on the Longhorns. We're going to 4:21 left to go. Buffaloes trail 2-6. Williams finds Sprinkston, deep right corner. Over to Acosta as Lamb threw it over there. Back to Xavier Williams as he inbounded for the Buffaloes. Acosta. Puts up 2, doesn't get it, bricked off the back. Sprinkston recovers. He's going to whip it out to Acosta, who's wide open, who puts 3 up, and he's going to splash this one. Acosta has all the points for the Buffaloes right now. 5-6, the trail by 1. It's going to be a Buffalo ball as Longhorns foul. That's going to be number 23, Rever Amos. Stoppel comes in for Mason. Acosta starting a play. Yells out ISO here, and he's going to, as Williams is going to motion over Sprinkston, who doesn't move. Lamb pump fakes, puts up 2. Doesn't get it, just a short here. It's going to be a Garden City foul. This is going to be on 32, Jackson Dirks. And Shaddix is going to come in for Dirks. Stoppel, heavily guarded by Williams. And Williams able to keep up with Stoppel as he throws down to Cox, and he's going to put up 2. And he's not going to get this, but Kelpley recovers, and there's going to be a scramble under the basket. It's going to stay here as a Longhorn ball. Kelvon Bennett is checking in for Xavier Williams. Hands comes in for Cox. So lots of substitutions here in the first period here. 3 minutes left. Stoppel wide open. There's going to be a travel on Stoppel. Shaddix is going to inbound this one over to Lamb. Over to Acosta. Acosta with a great all-around player, has the ball handling skills. He can shoot. Just a fantastic all-around player. There's going to be a handoff to Lamb here. And he's going to put it back on top of the key. Throw over to Shaddix, who's wide open. He puts up 3, gets it. So the Buffaloes are leading now with 2:29 left to go. Over to Mason. It's going to be a tip-off by Springston. It's going to be a Holcomb foul. Great hustle here by number 1, Jared Springston. Checking in for Mason is going to be number 13, Zafin Mason. Over to Lamb. He's going to set his offense up here. Kelvon Bennett getting on the post. He's going to find Acosta. Acosta going to whip it down over to Lamb. Lamb's going to find Shaddix. He's going to bring it back up to the top, and he's going to find Springston. He's going to drive it in. Looks to put up 2. He gets it. (10-6) here, 1:55 left to go. It's going to be a handoff back over, and that's going to be a tip-off by Acosta, and it's going to stay here as a Longhorn ball. Hand's going to inbound. He's going to find Kelpley on top. He's going to whip it down to Mason. Mason's going to bring it back up as Stoppel sets up here. Mason pops for 2. Doesn't get it. Toilet bowls around. Lamb recovers. He's going to whip it over to Acosta. Down to Shaddix. Hand off to Acosta. Over to Shaddix. Back to Acosta. Puts up 3. Drained. Timeout Holcomb. It's been a fantastic game so far. A lot of aggression and a lot of hustle out here for these guys. So Buffaloes lead 13-6. Stay tuned to the Garden. Welcome back to the Garden. Stoppel's going to take this one away here. He's going to whip it over to Mason. Down to Hands. Hands thrown to Kepley in the post. Over to a wide open Mason here, and he puts 3 up and gets it. 58 seconds left as the clock runs. Williams looking to come in here. Over to Acosta, who shoots for 3, doesn't get it. Break off the back. Kelvon Bennett tips it out to Acosta. He puts up 2, doesn't get it, just short. Mason here, gonna bring up this ball. Over to Kolumski, back to Hands. Over to Mason with 20 seconds left. Over to Kelpley, doesn't know what to do. He whips it right back out to Mason with 13 seconds left on the clock. He's going to hold this ball there, down 13-9, 8 seconds left. And Mason, he's going to set back up top to Hands. Stoppel, dings in, looks to shoot, fires. It's just going to be just short. Your score going into the second period, Buffaloes 13 and Longhorns 9. Stay tuned to the Garden, broadcasting on Channel 21 and on YouTube. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Garden. Here's some points here in the first half. Acosta with 8, Jared Springston with 2, and Mason Shaddix with 3. Kelvon Bennett came in for the Buffaloes. And River Amos is also back in for the Longhorns. Shaddix is going to inbound this one over to Williams. And he's going to find Shaddix, and he's going to set up at the top. He's going to find Lamb, who came under the basket on a scramble here, just runs off, throws it back down to Shaddix. And he's going to pop for 3. Breaks off the back. Kelpley recovers. Jackson with the ball. He's going to whip this one over to Mason. He's going to throw it out to Kepley. He's in the paint. They're going to give him a travel call here. It's going to be Garden ball. Xavier Williams going to set this one up here. He's going to whip it over to Lamb. Lamb's going to set back up at the top, and he's going to throw it down to Springston. Springston's going to drive in, tries to put it 2. Can't, finds a wide open Shaddix, who puts it back up. Breaks off the back. Recovery is going to be Mason. Mason finds a wide open Hands. Hands puts it up for 3. They're going to call a travel. Checking in is going to be number 5, Devon McKee. Number 3, Carlos Acosta. Number 14, Mason Shaddix. Number 24, Kyler Lamb come out for the Buffaloes. Acosta sets up, throws down to McKee. McKee's a really strong shooter on the outside. Go as he sets up. Xavier, Mason almost got a hand on that. Acosta drives in, whips it out to a wide open Williams. Williams shoots it. There's going to be a traveling call. Student sections for Longhorns and Buffaloes going back at it. Back and forth, trash talking each other. Hands throws down to Mason. Mason's going to set back up at the top and whip it over to Hands. Hands is going to throw it down to Stoppel. Stoppel whips over to Kepley, but it's going to, Springston's going to recover. Over to McKee. Back down to Acosta. He's going to drive. Throws it right out to Springston. McKee. Williams. McKee comes into the post. And Williams tries to put up 2, but he's going to be short and fouled on the way up. He's going to get a pushing call. This is going to be a Longhorn foul. This is going to be on number 5, Jackson Stoppel. Second foul of the evening. Williams sets up, puts it up. He's going to get it. Coming in for Stoppel is going to be number 3, Trey Cox. Kelvon Bennett goes down to discuss with Jace Holloway. Xavier Williams sets up to get his second one underway. Puts it up, gets it. First points of the quarter. Over to Kepley, back out to Hands. Back into Kepley, and he's going to drive this one in, try and put it up, and he gets it. McKee's going to set up at the top. And Williams goes down. McKee sets back up at the top. He's going to whip this down to Williams. Williams pump fakes, tricking out Cox. He's going to drive this in. Intended target was Kelvon Bennett, but put it right into Amos's hands. Cox finds Mason. Mason over to Hands. Hands throws it down to Kepley. Kepley tries to take this one in, but they're going to get a traveling call. Lamb comes in for Williams. Amos is going to come out as number 2. Caleb Klumsky comes in. They're going to give a traveling call over to McKee. (15 to 11), 4:20 left to go in the second period. Been a kind of a slow game so far. Or slow second period. Not many points have been put up on the board. Kepley puts up 2, and that's his second in the post shot of the evening. Buffaloes lead by 2, 15-13, 3:50 left to go. Over to McKee, and he's going to whip this one down over to Bennett, and he's going to find Lamb. Lamb's going to set up at the top. He's going to find McKee on the left wing and brings it right back to the top, and he's going to try and find Acosta, but he can't find Springston. Springston drives it in, puts up 2, scores. As Xavier Williams and Jared Springston have put 4 points up total. Kepley tries to go up, finds Mason. Mason breaks it off the back. It's going to be recovered. A scramble to Kepley, whips out to Cox, and he's going to throw it back up to the top to Hands to set up their offense again. Cox down to Hands on a lob there. No traveling call, but it's going to be a wild throw over to Klumsky. Timeout Holcomb. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Garden. Your score, Buffalo 17, Longhorns 13 with a slow second period, as there's only been 4 points added for the Buffaloes and 4 points over for the Longhorns. Kepley scoring all of the Longhorns' points in the second period here. It's going to be a Holcomb ball. As Mason sets up, he's going to whip it out to Cox. Cox being double teamed, and there's going to be a push, and this is going to be on number 5, Devon McKee. Head coach for the Longhorns is going to be Chad Novak. Hands over to Mason as he drives. He's going to whip this one right out to Klumsky, and he's going to put up a be fouled on the way up. This is going to be on number 24, Kyler Lamb. This is his first of the evening. 2:43 left to go in the second period. Buffalo's lead 17-13. As Klumsky gets ready to shoot his first set of free throws. Gets his first one, and finally someone puts up another set of points here. Gets it. Shaddix comes in for Bennett. Acosta sets up here. It's going to be over here. Acosta's going to set up. They're going to get a carry. Hand sets up. Warner puts that up. Over to Williams, back down to Springson. He pops three. He's going to get this one. 1:51 left to go. There's only been 7 points added for the Buffaloes here. Down to Mason. Mason pops it over to Klumsky. Klumsky tries to drive in, finds a wide open Mason who drives in, puts it up for two. Bricks is going to be an air ball. Cox puts it up back up on a rebound and scores. This makes it a one-away game. Kelpie getting ready to come in. Costa sets up, finds Lamb. Lamb finds Springston. Springston trying to drive. He's going to drive to the left side, put up two, and it's going to get it, and there's going to be a foul. So an and one here. This is on number 2, Peyton Ortner. So Springston's going to go out of the line and shoot two. And he's going to set up here. Looks to put up his first one, and he gets it. Excuse me, he's going to be putting up one. Xavier Williams having the only set of free throws for the Buffaloes here tonight. Both Mason brothers are in. Mason's going to take it over and throw it to air ball here, and he threw that right over to Ortner. Xavier Williams looking to drive, puts up two, and is going to be fouled on the way down. Not going to be fouled. They're going to call this an out ball here. 42 seconds left. It's going to be some substitutions made as Cox goes out and Hands comes in. Hands going to be point guard on this drive as he sets up. Down to Mason. Mason whips it over. Back over to Kepley, and they're going to give a traveling call on the Longhorns. This is really going to affect him in the long run. Buffalo's lead, 23-19. Acosta sets up. Looking at, telling them, hey, there's low time. Let's keep this ball as long as possible. He's going to whip this over to Lamb. Lamb's going to throw this over to Williams. They're going to keep this as much as possible so they can lead into halftime. Williams puts up two, but he's going to be not fouled on the way down. They're going to call this a Longhorn ball. 6.6 seconds left to go. They're going to call this a Garden City foul. That was going to be on number 2 is Xavier Williams. Shaddix coming in for Williams. 23-19, 6.6 seconds left to go. Mason rolls the ball down court to try and score a basket. 2 seconds. He pulls, and he's going to hit it right off the right side. Your score at the half, Garden City leads Buffaloes 23, Longhorns 19. 6 fouls apiece. You're listening to KBSELP Garden City. 101.7 The Herd, streaming on Channel 21 and on YouTube. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Sorry, folks, you're going to have to cut out the audio so you don't get copyrighted, so sorry about that. Fantastic halftime performance by the dance team. Congratulate them on that. Freshman Natalia Duran was also part of the choreographic for that one, so congratulations to her. Up next is the drum line, and we will have audio for this as we cannot get copyrighted. Welcome back to the Garden. Your score, Buffaloes 23, Longhorns 19. Starting off the second half is going to be with the Longhorns having the ball here. And for the Buffaloes is 32, Jackson Dirks, 24, Kyler Lamb, number 1, Jared Springston, number 3, Carlos Acosta, and number 2 is Xavier Williams. Over to Stoppel. Stoppel's going to drive and is going to be tipped off by Williams, but it's going to stay here as the Longhorn ball. Stoppel over to Kepley. Kepley pump fakes, tries to take it in. Over to Stoppel, wide open on the left wing here. Stoppel's going to bring it up to the top. Can't find someone. He does find Mason. Over to Stoppel again to a wide open hands. He puts it up. Doesn't get it. Lamb drives it in, finds a wide open Acosta. Acosta moves over and is going to be hit from behind. Can't be reaching over like from the back like that. So he'll be shooting 2 from the line. Zion Mason fouled on that one there. It's his first one of the evening. Acosta makes his first one. Makes his second one. It's going to be taken over to Hands. Hands going to drive, and he's going to find Kelp. Back to Hands. Over to Stoppel. Stoppel's going to set back up at the top. He's going to whip this one over to Mason. Mason is going to try and set back up, and he's going to find Kelpley. Back up to Stoppel, who's going to find a pocket, drives, puts up 2, doesn't get it, but it's going to be a Garden City foul. He's going to check in for Garden City. It's going to be number 33, Kelvon Bennett. Dirks comes out. Gets his next one. It's going to make it a 25-21 game. Acosta inbounding over to Williams. Back over to Acosta. He's going to find Williams again. Williams is going to step back up at the top. He's going to find Lamb, who decides to fire to Springston in the post. And he's going to be fouled and make one, but they're going to call that a no basket here. Inbounding for the Buffaloes is going to be number 2, Xavier Williams. Number 2, Peyton Ortner comes in for River Amos. Acosta trying to get open. Finally does from the inbound. Acosta looking. He's going to set this back up at the top, and he's going to throw it over to Williams. Williams motions for Acosta. Acosta going to fire down to Lamb. Lamb's going to set up on the wing, and he's going to find Springston, but it's going to be tipped off of Hands into Jackson's hands. And he's going to lose control of the ball, and it's going to be stolen again. There's been a lot of stealing here from Jackson Stoppel over to Acosta, to Lamb. And now number 12, Kobe Hands, got a hand on this next one. But it's going to remain a Longhorn ball here. It's going to be Mason trying to drive this in. He's going to find Stoppel on the right side wing, and he's going to drive it in. Tries to put up 2, and he gets it. He's going to be fouled on the way up, so he'll be shooting for 2. It's going to be a 2-point game, so if he makes these, it'll be a tied ball. Kelvon Bennett fouled here. He's going to be shooting one. It's a one-away game. Costa's going to fire out to Springston. Springston puts up three. Bricked off the back. It's going to be recovered by Mason. Stoppel going to make a call here. Kepley on top, fires to Mason. Mason fires back to Hands as he looks to pump fake, and he's going to fire it back off to Mason. Mason sees Ortner, and he's going to find Mason back at the top. And Williams gets a hand on that ball, not able to get it. It's going to be a Garden City foul. This is going to be on number 2, Xavier Williams. This is his second 13. Stoppel fired for three, not able to get it. Lamb over to Acosta. Acosta puts up three, and he's not going to get this one. Stoppel recovers, and he's going to fire or drive this one up the left side of the court. He's going to find Mason over to Hands. Back to Kepley, who fires for two. Gets it. They're leading by one. Acosta going to set up his offense. Stoppel got a hand on this off a tip, but it's going to stay here as a Buffalo ball. Checking in for the Buffalo is going to be number 14, Mason Shaddix. Xavier Williams is going to come out. Trey Cox is going to come out for Mason as the other Mason comes in. Hands goes out for Mason. Lamb fired for three, and he's going to get it on a spiral. It's going to remain a Longhorn ball. 3:54 left to go in the third. Trey Cox is going to inbound this one over to Mason. Shaddix almost got a hand on this. And it's going to be a tip-off. They're going to call it a Longhorn ball. Tipped off of Jared Springston. They're going to give a foul over to Kelvon Bennett as Jackson lobs one over to Ortner, and he's going to find Jackson. He fires for two. He's going to be off here. Recovered by Springston. Springston's looking to drive this one. Finds Acosta, puts up two, gets it. Great play by them two. Over to Jackson. Jackson tries to find Cox, but can't of a tip. Bennett struggling, lobs one over to Lamb. Lamb's going to set up his offense. Jace Holloway yelling off a play to his team here. Buffalo's doing an excellent job of their pass play. Lamb fires for two, gets it. Stoppel tries to take it through the back, but they're going to call a push on the Shaddix, which I do not agree with that call. Jackson just happened to trip there as he tried to fire through the back, and Shaddix was able to get a hand on it and take it in, but they called it a foul. Checking in, it's going to be number 13, Zayfen Mason. He's going to find Hands down on the left wing. He pump fakes. He's going to take this and find Hands again. Hands loses control of the ball, and it's going to be an out ball. Buffaloes here. Buffaloes lead 32-26. We're going to have number 13, Zafin Mason, come out for number 5, Jackson Stoppel. Over here to Lamb. Down to Shaddix, Acosta. Acosta trapped, finds a wide open Springson. Over to Kelvon Bennett to a wide open Lamb who fires for 3. Toilet bowls around. Stoppel driving in. They're going to get a charge foul, and he's not going to get this. This is going to be on number 24, Kyler Lamb. GCHS student section calling Jackson Dirks a flopper. So we're going to have number 5, Jackson Stoppel, shoot one. He gets it. He's going to shoot his second one. Payne Ortner come in for Kelpley. Set up, shoots his second one, gets it. Going to make this a 3-way game. 4-way game, excuse me. Lamb sets up, 1:56 left to go in the third. Over to Acosta. Acosta tries to find Lamb, but Stoppel's going to get a hand on this one. Hands puts it up, doesn't get it. Recovered by Acosta. Acosta double teamed here, and they're going to call a Longhorn foul. This is on number 12, Kobe Hands. 1:37 left to go in the third period. Buffaloes 32, Longhorns 28. Buffaloes surpassing the Longhorns in fouls. Down to Lamb. And they're gonna call a Garden City timeout. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Garden. Your score, Buffaloes 32, Longhorns 28. 1:22 left to go as Shaddix is going to inbound here. He's going to find Acosta. Back over to Lamb. Lamb's going to set up his offense. He's going to whip this one over to Shaddix as he's covered by Trey Cox. He's going to find Springston. Springston looking. He's going to drive this in. Acosta loses when he loses control of the ball. Acosta recovers. Acosta again setting up. Drives this in, throws it out to Kelvon Bennett, who puts it up for 2, and he gets it. He's going to have the first point, or sorry, excuse me. Well, Bennett with his first set of points of the evening. Mason sets up as Lamb got a hand on that, almost stole the ball, but he was able to recover and throw it off to Trey Cox. Lamb finds Stoppel, or excuse me, Cox finds Stoppel. Kepley tries to put up 2, and he does, but Garden's somehow going to get a foul here. It was on Kelvon Bennett. Williams coming in for Lamb. shooting one shot for the Longhorns. It's going to be number 43, Damon Kepley. He is going to not get this one. Recovered by Bennett as Shaddix fires to Acosta. He's going to find Springs into the paint. He puts it up for 2. Springston gets his first set of points in the third here. Over to Hands. Hands down to Letbert. Puts it up, and he's not going to get this one. Your score going into the fourth is Buffaloes 36, Longhorns 30. The Longhorns want to win this game. They're really going to have to pick up their pace here. We'll be right back. Stay tuned to KBFZ LP Garden City, streaming on Channel 21 and on YouTube. Welcome back to the Garden. It's going to be Garden City ball going into the fourth here, 36-30. Longhorns really need to pick up on their defensive skills in the paint and not let this throwing on the outside get to them. Shattuck sets up, but they're going to call a foul on number 14. Zion Mason. Over to Williams, 7:48 left to go. Over to Shaddix. Shaddix is going to set this up. Drives to the left, finds a wide open Acosta, puts it up for 3, doesn't finish. Recovered by Kelpley and Stoppel. Stoppel's going to keep this one and take it up. Loses control of the ball almost here. He's going to find Mason. Mason is going to find Hands. His hand sets up, lobs it over to Kepley, puts one up and gets it. Over to Mason. To Acosta, who's going to drive this in, but he's going to get a charge foul. This is going to be a Holcomb foul on number 12, Kobe Hands. And bounding for the Buffaloes is going to be number 14, Mason Shaddix. Springston puts it up for 2, doesn't get it, but recovered by Acosta, who whips it out to Xavier Williams on an amazing save from the out of bounds. Down over to Mason. Mason throws it down to Acosta to set up. He's going to throw it off to Williams, and Williams is going to drive this in, but there's going to be a foul call here. It's going to be on Holcomb. On number 3, Trey Cox. This is his first 16 of the evening. Lob over to Acosta. Hands heavily guarding Acosta when he fires over to Williams. Up to Acosta. Acosta wide open, puts up 3. Such a relaxed shooter as he cashes this one. First set of points in the fourth here for the Buffaloes. Cox gets the 3 for the Holcomb Longhorns. Timeout, Holcomb. Stay tuned. Welcome back. 6:03 left to go in the game. Buffalo's lead 39-35. Been a very aggressive game. Lots of fouls called. Buffalo's surpassed the Longhorns in fouls by 1, 7-6. This is going to be a Buffalo ball. Whips it over to Acosta. Acosta's going to motion over to clear the lane. Can't find it, finds Williams. Williams going to put it into Springston, who's going to post up. Can't find anyone. He's going to put it up for 2. Doesn't get it off a brick. Dirks recovers. There's going to be a Holcomb foul here. On 12, Kobe Hands. Zafin Mason checks in for the Holcomb Longhorns. Shooting free throws here is going to be number 32, Jackson Dirks. Pops his first one and is just short. Goes off to the right side of the rim as Stoppel recovers and takes the ball up. He's going to whip it over to Mason. Mason throws her right to Dirk's hands, and he's going to, for some reason, whip that one all the way across court. Don't know why he did that. There was no one there. 5:16 left in the game, 39-35. Stoppel over to Mason. Almost fired there. Cox sets up at the top. Finds Stoppel. Stoppel pulls for 3. Doesn't get it as Lamb recovers. And he's going to take this down here as Jared Springston puts up for 2. Doesn't get it on the left side of the rim. Stoppel's going to recover and keep it. Take it up the right side of the court. It's going to be a recovery. They're going to call this one a Holcomb foul. It's going to be a Garden ball. This was on number 3, Trey Cox. It's the second foul of the evening. Shooting a 1 on the line is going to be number 1, Jared Springston. Springston looks to get one here, and he's going to miss this. Cox sets up, finds Stoppel. He drives in, gets 2. Longhorns only one 2-pointer away from tying this ball game up. Buffaloes want to remain undefeated, go 4-0, just like their Lady Buffs. Acosta fires for 3, just breaks off the back as Mason recovers, and they're going to whip this one over to Stoppel. Mason sets up here, takes it back up to the top, and he's going to whip this one over to Kepley, and he's going to fire back out to Mason, who tries to drive, and he's going to continue to drive, circles around, goes back out to the outside of the lane. Finds Cox way deep on the top. Finds Stoppel, who lobs it over, but Springston gets a hand on it and throws it out of bounds. It's going to remain here, Holcomb ball. Wilson trying to find someone, finds Mason. Stoppel. Fires over to Mason. And Kyler Lamb's going to foul on this. Excuse me, they're going to call this a Holcomb foul. Number 14, Zion Mason. Checking in for Holcomb is going to be number 2, Payne Ortner, and Kobe Hands, number 12. Longhorns trying to become 2-2. Acosta driving, puts up 2, just short, but he recovers, throws up another 2, not going to get it, but he is fouled on the way up. Jackson Stoppel fouled. Attempting free throws here is going to be number 3, Acosta. See what he can do here. Fires one, gets it. Gets a second one. Timeout, Garden City. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Garden. Final minutes of the last game for the Clarion Inn Roundball Classic. Probably one of the biggest games of this tournament. The Scott City versus Liberal game was very interesting, with Liberal Liberal being down going into halftime and then recovering and able to pull off a win by 3. It's going to be 2:45 left to go as Holcomb inbounds. Stoppel going to set back up at the top and find Hands. Hands going to throw over to Stoppel. It's going to be tipped off Lamb. Lamb recovers. And he's going to set up his offense. They're going to want to run the clock down as much as possible. Acosta to Springston. He pump fakes, drives it in, throws it right back out to Acosta, who puts up 3. And it's going to be just a little short as it hits the very front of the rim. They're going to call this on number 2, Xavier Williams, for a Garden City foul. The coaches definitely do not agree with that call. .2:11 left. Checking in for Holcomb going to be number 14, Zion Mason. 2:11 left. Shooting 2 at the line is going to be number 3, Trey Cox. Misses. He's going to go over to Lamb. Williams cuts back over. He's going to do his spin and gets back out to the outside where he fires to Lamb, over to Acosta. Finds Williams. Williams trying to get on the inside. They're going to call a Garden City timeout. Stay tuned to KBFZ LP Garden City 101.7 The Herd, streaming on channel 21 and on YouTube. We'll be back. Welcome back as the teams return. It's going to be a Buffalo ball on an inbound. Buffalo's wanting to go 4-0. They're really going to have to work for it in this last minute 50. Acosta sets up at the top, fires to Williams. Williams is going to try and find his way. They're going to call a carry on number 2, Xavier Williams. Checking in is going to be number 12, Kobe Hanch comes in for Trey Cox. Down over to Mason. Mason fires the hands. Hands down to Kepley, who pump fakes, finds hands on the top of the key, and he's going to fire over to Mason. Mason finds Kepley. Kepley tries to drive in, can't do it. Finds Ortner on the free throw, but cannot finish. Holcomb foul on number 14, Zion Mason. That's his 5th. He's going to come out here for the game. Trey Cox comes right back in after he just got out. Shooting one at the line is going to be Kyler Lamb, and he gets it, so he's going to shoot another. Gets it. Over to Cox. Cox tries to find Kepley. Tipped off there. Guarded by multiple Buffaloes. They need to be careful. Jackson Stoppel able to get this one. It's going to make it a 3-pointer away. It's going to be a Holcomb timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Your score, Buffaloes 43, Longhorns 40, as the cheerleaders leave the court. The players are going to return here. 1 minute left to go. Buffaloes 43, Longhorns 40. This is going to remain a Buffalo ball with Kyler Lamb inbounding. Over to Acosta, who's going to fire back to Lamb. Final seconds as they lead. Brings it in, drives it in for 2, and he gets it. Stoppel doing a fast break here, but there's going to be a call on Kyler Lamb. Checking in for the Buffaloes is going to be number 32, Jackson Dirks, coming in for Mason Shaddix. Shooting at the line is going to be number 5, Jackson Stoppel. Puts one up, and he gets it. I'll be shooting another. If he gets this, it'll be a 3-pointer away game, so let's see if he's going to be able to get it. Misses his first free throw of the night. Back out to wide open Trey Cox. He's going to drive this in. Takes it back out to the outside. Finds Mason, who fires for three. It's going to be a 1-point away game. This is getting very intense. Buffalo's 45, Longhorns 44. We'll be right back as it's going to be a Garden City timeout. Welcome back. Your score, Buffalo's 45, Longhorns 44, 31 seconds left. It's going to be a Buffalo ball here with Lamb inbounding. So the Longhorns are going to look to press. A 30-second warning. Getting very intense. Acosta getting open. He's going to find Lamb again. He's going to drive it, and he's going to get fouled. Coming in is going to be number 43, Damon Kelpley. Shooting two is going to be number 24, Kyler Lamb, hoping to make these two. Gets his first one. A lot of pressure on him. He stays calm and relaxed. Dirks comes in. Misses his second one. If they shoot a two and make it, they will tie this ball game, 22 seconds. If they make a three, they will be up by one, which is going to put a lot of pressure on the Buffaloes. Kyler Lamb fouls. Mason wanting to tie this ball game up. A lot of pressure. Makes his first one. One point away. Gets it. Ties this ball game. Buffalo ball. Kyler Lamb finds Xavier Williams. He finds Lamb. Timeout, Garden City. We'll be right back. Close game. One minute timeout is over. 19 seconds left. Tie ball game. The Buffaloes do not want to go into overtime. They want to win this game clean and keep their undefeated record. But it may go into overtime here. Or who knows, maybe the Longhorns can get a steal and score to win this ball game. We'll find out here. Lamb. They need to run this clock down to try, if not win, go into overtime. 10 seconds left. Xavier Williams setting up, finds Acosta. Acosta. Chase Holloway extremely frustrated. It's going to be a timeout by Holcomb, 5 seconds left. We'll be right back. One-minute timeout over is it's going to be a extremely stressful 6 seconds here. Buffalo's wanting to win this game. All they need is a basket. Just a two-pointer and they get this game. Maybe 6 seconds. The Longhorns can make an amazing play, but realistically. Acosta takes it in, fires for two, and he doesn't get it. Rebound is Xavier Williams, puts it up for two. Jackson Turks, and he gets it on the win for the Buffaloes. What a crazy way to end the game. Buffaloes 48, Longhorns 46 with an amazing tip-off by Jackson Dirks. The student section very excited here. What a great way as Acosta fires, misses. With the Xavier Williams putting two up, misses, and Dirks recovers. Dirks getting the game-winning shot. The Buffaloes remain undefeated. Final score 48-46. Very great effort. An extremely well played basketball game by the Holcomb Longhorns as they are defeated tonight and they go with 3-1. The Holcomb Longhorns are going to look back and see what they can improve on. But as for now, the Buffaloes are very impressed with their performance tonight. We'll see what they're going to do to improve for the next game. And a great win for the Buffaloes. Again, your final score, Buffaloes 48, Longhorns 46. Stay tuned for the after-game press conference. Thanks for listening to KBFC LP Garden City, 101.7 The Herd. Good night, folks.